Hey guys, what's up? On this 5 days of failure, I basically just wanted to have us challenge our mindset on the topic. So I just want to take a few minutes to talk about failure, what it represents to me, and how I've overcome it so that you can ultimately be successful. Guys, in our society, it's a success-based society, and it should be. You should be accoladed and rewarded for your achievements. But what people don't show is that to get to that point, to become that overnight success, there's often been 5, 10, 20 years of hard work and failure go into achieving it. I want to take a minute to recognize that. I want to take a minute to recognize that that's part of the journey. When I talk to you, a lot of you guys are still placing so much pressure on yourselves to be perfect first time, to create the perfect business model, to not fail when you enter the market. The reality is that you will fail. It's not a question of when, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. That's the reality of being in business. And I think that we create this pressure on ourselves for a number of reasons. One, I think we need to keep our ego in check. I think our ego tries to prevent us. If we have self-esteem issues, it tries to prevent us from failing or being perceived by others as failing. And that's not quite right. That we need to be more secure in ourselves, and we need to be more confident in who we are, and that what we're endeavouring to do is taking the road less travelled. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but not many people do it, guys. They really don't. You are the anomaly by choosing to get into business, by choosing to follow your dreams. Most people, remember, are stuck in a desk job and they are pursuing somebody else's dream. That's their role, and it could well be until they get the golden watch and retire. So I guess what I want to do is recognise why do we have such a stigma around failure? And I think a large part of that is that we're still worried about what others perceive of us. I really do. I think we're still concerned about how people view us, how we're seen in the community, how we appear on Facebook, how we appear on Instagram, and I think that we need to overcome that. I know I have had to go on the journey that I've gone on. I've somehow got myself into a headspace where I just don't care. And as funny as that sounds, it's actually the truth. While I've gone out there and I've made this bold statement that I'm going to endeavour to make $1 million business in 6 months, if I don't achieve it, seriously, if I don't care. So I'm not quite sure how I've been able to get there, but I've been working on myself for a long time. That's what I want for you to start doing as well. Once you arrive in that space, there's freedom there. You can be your best sense of self, and it's just a far more empowering place. I don't know if you ever realised it or not, but once you find that space, once you're operating in that zone of freedom, it's actually when you're at your most powerful. So that's some of the things that I'm enjoying. But that's taken a while to get there, guys. A lot of you aren't quite there. A lot of you are still worried about your perception of how others will think of you. And yeah, it's time to take some pressure off. None of us are perfect. None of us are going to create the perfect business. None of us are going to create the perfect way to enter the market, because you don't know all the rules. And I think some of you think that some people do know all the rules. Well, guess what? Nobody does. Nobody really does. We're all out there trying. We're all out there giving it 100%, but we're all out there making micro mistakes. Small mistakes every day in search of a macro gain. And I mean, I've got to admit, most of my early businesses were fails. They really were. I learned a lot though. And then, in the end, I was able to sell some franchise business models and make a lot of money. So that's been my personal journey. That could well be your personal journey too. You just need to recognise that in the early days, in the startup phase, you're going to make mistakes. Okay guys, that's my rant, and that's our 5 days of failure. Thanks for listening. Cheers.